Today on 21st Century Business, explore state-of-the-art technology, innovative business strategies, insights from cutting-edge corporations around the globe, a visionary look into the answers of tomorrow, today. Business leaders, business solutions, 21st Century Business.
Welcome to 21st Century Business. I'm Jackie Bales. For businesses with large warehouses, pallet racks are an enormous investment with enormous potential for damage and harm if something goes wrong. In the U.S., every 3 days a worker is killed in a forklift-related accident. Well, the right kind of protection can prevent fatalities and costly losses, as we're about to hear from our next guest. Phil Maxwell-Smith is President and CEO of Rack Armour. Welcome, Phil.
Thanks, Jackie. It's good to be here.
Phil, how big a problem is this racking damage, and what's causing these issues in the warehouse?
Racking damage is a major problem and can have a serious effect on health and safety and the running of the warehouse, and the costs are horrendous for repairing damaged racking. Most of the damage is caused by forklift trucks and pallet jacks.
Just crashing into the racks then?
Exactly. Busy warehouse could turn over thousands of pallets movements every day. So they do get busy, and the guys are usually in a hurry to get the things in and out.
I'm sure.
So they are dangerous places to work, and it can be very costly repairing the racking.
So Phil, tell us about Rack Armour and what it offers for rack protection.
Rack Armour,
There it is
a simple, cost-effective solution to preventing racking damage. This is one of our pieces here. Well, you can see it's a nice bright yellow colour, so detection is important for the drivers to be able to see the leg of the racking when they're fitting pallets higher up. But the outer shell is a tough ballistics grade polymer that can take impacts. It deflects a lot of the impacts, but should it take a direct hit, we have the soft foam inner that diffuses that energy, and it diffuses it down the length of the guard, thus taking out the impact and acts as a barrier between the forklift trucks and the pallet racking itself.
Well, let's visit two different locations to see Rack Armour in action in this 21st Century Business Field Report.
Pallet racks are an essential and omnipresent element in most modern warehouses. However, safety, racking damage, and costly repairs are always primary concerns.
With the conventional post protector, the first collision that usually takes place when a forklift truck or a pallet jack would graze them actually will go into the anchor in the floor, therefore causing an up and will cause damage to the floor.
When Asda Walmart approached us asking us to reduce the cost of their racking repairs, the first area that we looked at was rack protection. We looked at what was on the market and nothing quite fitted the bill, therefore we designed our own. We incorporated the good things that the other guards had, and we overcome the bad things that the other guards had in the design, and I believe we overcome these and designed the ideal solution, which is Rack Armour.
Well, with the Rack Armour rack protector, there is no anchoring to the floor. And what happens is when it does get hit, glazed by a forklift truck or a pallet jack, it absorbs the shock of the collision and it's not anchored to the floor, so there's no damage done to the floor.
Rack Armour provides the capability to maximize safety and limit costly repairs as a result of damaged pallet racking. With an innovative rack protection device which signifies a departure from old methods of upright protection. Rack Armour, the new generation guard, is the most effective on the market.
The price of Rack Armour is less expensive because of the labor and installation involved. There is none.
Customer can install them themselves, plus they could be used on upper levels of catwalks where an anchored type of protector is not possible to be done.
Hi, I'm Richard Nelson. I'm the marketing coordinator at Rack Armour. I'm relatively new to the industry, but during my 2 years we've seen substantial growth and demand for the product around the globe. This is due to not only having the most innovative pallet racking protection on the market, but also having a worldwide distribution network. My favourite part about the guard is the longevity of service it brings some of our customers. As the sites like we're at today have had the guards installed for the past 6-7 years, which is testament to the effectiveness of the guard in itself.
Rack Armour's strength is in its simplicity. It simply clips onto your existing or new racking without the need for further fixing. The guard is constructed with ballistics grade polymer, ensuring maximized deflection capabilities. promising the ultimate in safety and strength.
So Phil, what inspired Rack Armour?
Well, Jackie, Rack Armour is a part of another company, the Rack Group. The Rack Group operate in the UK and specialise in racking protection and racking maintenance. While we were working for a company, our biggest customer in the UK, as the Walmart, we were asked to look at how we can reduce pallet racking repair costs. And we did numerous different things to reduce the costs. But protection was top of the list because, as we all know, prevention is better than the cure.
Definitely.
So this is how Rack Armour came about. We were asked to reduce the cost of pallet racking repairs.
So why should a customer choose Rack Armour?
Well, that's a good question. While we were looking at all the different types of guards on the market, we couldn't find one good enough that would give us the right protection we wanted. It didn't tick all the boxes. So we got a team together and designed our own protector. This protector has had many 100 of hours spent on it, developing different materials, checking out different materials and different designs. So for a customer's point of view is all the hard work's been done on it. It's just a matter of fitting it and watching the money that you save.
Very, very interesting. And it looks so simple.
It's very simple.
Let me ask you this, though. Why use the plastic instead of steel when steel's available?
Plastic is a lot more durable than steel. We found in our test that it outlasted steel and it was much more versatile. It not only protects the impacts better than steel, but it also allowed us to make the perfect shape that we needed to fit to the racking. Many steel guards that are used on the market today fit around the bottom of the upright and are fixed to the floor with fixing bolts. Now, steel's not good at repelling impacts. It will bend or crush. But if you put a big enough piece of steel there, what happens is when the fork trucks hit the steel, that energy gets transferred down into the ground and will either break off the bolts or break out the concrete, which can be very expensive to replace.
Wow. So the bolts will just either break themselves or the flooring itself will be damaged.
Exactly. Whereas Rack Armour acts like a big shock absorber. Like a shock absorber on your car. It keeps on working. It can take the impacts. And the other great thing about this material is it has memory. So it will go back to its original shape after heavy impacts.
Wow. So how long does Rack Armour last then?
Well, we've got Rack Armours fitted on sites in the UK that have been there for over 7 years now. And they're still in good shape and they're still working and saving the client money.
And I assume that's longer than a steel installation would be?
Yeah, we would have had to replace steel numerous times. So yeah, it's far better.
Why exactly does it last so long? Is it what's in this plastic?
Yeah, it is a ballistics grade polymer plastic, which is very, very tough. And the combination of the shock absorbing inner means that the guard lasts far longer than anything else out there. It's a great combination. And the design also helps because it deflects a lot of the impacts rather than taking the impact straight on.
Where is this guard made?
Okay, right. Well, we first started making it in the UK. We then also opened our operation and we now manufacture in Australia. But we also now manufacture right here in North America.
Excellent. Now, I've seen your website, and I also realize that you serve some of the biggest names in retail. I mean, real giants. Who are your customers, Phil?
Well, Walmart has to be our flagship customer. But we've got lots of customers. In fact, I don't know them all now. There's that many. But we've got people like IKEA, Coca-Cola, DHL, Toyota. The list is endless. Great customers, big customers.
And IKEA, for instance, even the customers are walking around in their warehouse and they're using this.
That's right. IKEA have this made in their own colour as well, which is another cool aspect of the guard.
Oh, color, you can prefer your own colors,
You
order
can,
your own
if you
color.
buy enough, you can have any colour you want.
What safety standards does this product adhere to, Phil?
Well, it adheres to the European standard, FEM, and also the UK standard, SEMA, which is the Storage Equipment Manufacturers Association.
And what about temperature? Is it affected by that?
Oh no, this is a great thing about it. This guard can operate in temperatures as low as -40 degrees.
Wow.
So it's great for cold stores and chillers and freezer warehouses, which does a great job in there as well.
That's a huge benefit, I would think.
It is, because it's very expensive to do racking repairs in freezers conditions, as you can imagine.
Just sounds brutal.
Yeah.
How does the guard fit onto all the different types of rack uprights that exist?
Okay. Here in the US, we have 3 different sizes, A, B and C. This is the US guard A. It's the smallest guard. What happens, the guard, we open the top of the guard just enough to get the end on the rack, and as we push down, it snaps right round the guard, sorry, the upright, making a real nice tight fit and protective sleeve around the upright itself.
How environmentally friendly is this guard?
Very, actually. It's totally recyclable. You can chop it up and reuse it. And with the fact that we manufacture it in the 3 different areas, it keeps our carbon footprint quite small. So,
good point.
And also, the other great thing about this thing, and by talking about the environment, is that it saves so much work, damage and replacement parts. On the big picture, it's very environmentally friendly.
Very interesting. And what about cost then?
Well, it's a very effective cost. It's obviously the amount of money it saves you is very, very cost effective. And the length of time it lasts obviously makes it a valuable product to the customer, because he can fit this and forget it virtually. Just a bit like your shock absorber in your car. You don't think about that working when you're driving to work, but it's working. You take them out and you realise what's missing when you do that. And it's exactly the same with the guard. It works like a shock absorber. You put it on, fit it, forget it. It keeps working. 7 years and still going strong.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned earlier Rack Aid Management. What is the Rack Aid Management System?
The Rack Aid Management System is being developed by the Rack Group, and it involves a lot of different aspects of racking repairs. Perhaps, Jackie, you could invite me back at some stage in the near future to explain it in more detail.
Now, let me ask you before we go where Rack Armour is sold and what your outlook is on future sales.
Well, we sell in Rack Armour in over 50 countries now around the world.
50 countries.
Fantastic, yeah. And sales are absolutely excellent. I mean, people are going through hard times, and most companies are struggling at the moment, but the sales are just getting stronger year upon year.
Well, Phil, you've certainly shown us why Rack Armour deserves its name. This is very clever. Thank you so much for sharing the details with us.
You're welcome, Jackie.
And thank you for watching. For 21st Century Business, I'm Jackie Bale.